Welcome back, I suppose. I am delighted to announce that today's podcast is sponsored by the local town criers service, Town Square Space. I say that I'm delighted, but as you can imagine, I'm being less than completely sincere. Town Squarespace provides an all-in-one platform that gives you everything you need to announce your announcements or proclaim your proclamations. Who writes this stuff? Town Squarespace's professional town criers are at least 30% louder than any other town criers. Whether you're just getting started or are an established brand, our powerful platform helps your business grow. I remember when it was perfectly acceptable to announce your next genocidal plan by posting it on the local notice board, but apparently no one looks at notice boards anymore, so you have to pay a man to bellow in people's faces. You people sicken me. Back to the podcast. I have let Russ Morrissey and Peter Coffey out of the dungeon for a few hours. You're lucky you can't smell them.
All the tabletop role-playing news. We aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG.
Hello, and welcome to Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. As always, I am Morris, aka Russ, or Russ, aka Morris, and with me is my usual co-host,
Peter Coffey from the Southampton Guild of Role Players. Russ has said that I'm both ebullient, possibly even efficiently here.
Efficiently ebullient?
Absolutely.
Or ebulliently efficient?
I like to maximise my fun. Fun optimisation is an important part of my life.
Fair enough. How's your week been, Peter?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've been playing quite a lot of D&D, finished off Hall of the Dragon Queen, been doing lots of reading, and had a chance to go ape.
Go ape?
Yes, go ape. It's a thing where you traverse from tree to tree using a variety of exciting ropes and bits of wood, whilst secured to the safety line system with a couple of carabiners.
Carabiner type of drink. It sounds like a cocktail of some kind.
Yes, that's right. It's very popular on some of the Jamaican islands as well. A rum-based one. Well, very, very important that you explain this to any climbing people.
I do know what a carabiner is. I was just making a very, very, very hilarious joke.
Yeah, yes. That's why I'm laughing.
Yes, I can see.
On the inside.
I started a new campaign on Thursday night.
Exciting.
It is a urban heist fantasy campaign.
Oh.
So we got we got a Minotaur pirate.
Yes.
We've got a Jekyll and Hyde style ogre stroke orc. So basically he's an orc, and then when he transforms, he turns into an ogre, basically.
Right. Okay.
What else have we got? We got a wizard.
Good old wizard.
Oh, and two halfling, small folk twins, which look identical but have entirely different skill sets.
Nice.
Looks like it's going to be fun because we're trying this troop play idea.
Oh yeah.
So we've got 4 players.
Yep.
And each has 2 characters.
With you, yep.
So for any given heist, so the first one, they're trying to steal a necklace off of the body of a lady who's just died, and there's going to be this funeral procession and then this funeral barge thing going out to the Isle of Bones. So, they need to replace the necklace, which is valuable around her neck, with a paper mache one.
Yeah, they're sort of doing some pre-tomb robbing.
Yeah.
Unusual for adventures.
But they can do it at any point. So the idea was you set it up, and then they can choose at any point how they want to run this heist. They can try and intercept the barge. They could try and sneak into the tomb. They could try and get into the chapel while the wake's going on. Whatever. They could try and disguise themselves as caterers and try and get in. Whatever they want to do.
Absolutely.
Totally free to set up their heist in any way they want. And they've got 2 characters each. And there's 4 players. So each player can take whichever of their 2 characters on any given adventure. So basically, you also end up tailoring the party to the heist.
No,
so you say, right, we don't really need the ogre in this one because we're all pretending to be caterers, but we'll take the minstrel.
Yes.
And that sort of thing.
We'll take the small folk. Everyone knows small folk know about anything.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Should we do some news?
Yes, let's.
All right, then. So, first thing in the news is a piece of artwork.
Oh, yeah.
It is for Pathfinder Bestiary 2.
Ooh.
The artwork is by Wayne Reynolds, and we will put a link in the show notes to it. But it's a rather gorgeous cover to this bestiary. I really, really do like this.
Oh, there is stuff going on that cover.
I'm just putting it up. It's taking its time.
We've got what looks like a pair of kobolds.
You've got a pair of kobolds. You've got a Hydra in the background, multi-headed Hydra in the background. I'm guessing that's a troll.
Yeah,
in the foreground.
It looks like there's a troll. It's like, shouting at a pair of kobolds who are like giving it some lip back from inside their various kobold hidey holes. And what they're actually doing is they're distracting it while a giant, 5-headed Hydra
Sneaks
is sneaking up on the troll. It's like, typical kobolds.
Yes. Just imagine a Hydra sneaking up on you.
Yeah, it'd be like, shouting at some kobolds, like going, come on then, come at me, and they look behind you. And then suddenly a Hydra appears. Unfortunate.
Hey, it's the 5th part of the War of the Burning Sky adventure path is out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's a 5th edition adventure path. It's been updated from the original Pathfinder.
Oh,
or
interesting.
Was it? No, it was 3.5 actually. It was Pathfinder.
Right.
It's 3.5. There was a 4E version as well, and this is its 5th edition version is up to adventure number 5, Mission to the Monastery of Two Winds.
Oh, nice.
So I love this adventure path. Obviously, I'm biased because I published it originally, but I do think it's basically one of the best adventure paths around. It deals with
War of the Burning Sky.
Yeah, there's a big
What's
war
it about?
going on. So there's this Emperor Coldtongue, and he has this torch called the Torch of the Burning Sky.
Okay, yeah.
And this enables him to transport armies instantaneously, which obviously makes him pretty much the most powerful.
That's a strong logistical bonus. Yeah.
So right at the beginning of the adventure path, that Emperor is killed, and the torch goes missing.
Oh, okay.
And everyone wants it.
That's a major power vacuum.
Yes. So right at the beginning of the adventure path in the Scouring of Gate Pass, the PCs start off in this small town called Gate Pass, which is in a valley between mountains.
It's a gate and a path, perhaps.
Essentially.
Yeah,
and the Ragesian army is right at the doorstep, laying siege to it. And there's these inquisitors that go around hunting for unauthorized magic users.
Right.
For reasons which become found out later in the adventure path. Essentially, they're being captured and taken to an underground icy prison and having their magic extracted from them to power a super weapon. Spoilers. Yeah. It's a fantastic adventure path. I love it.
Watch out for inquisitors bearing straws. Yeah. Okay. Any idea what sort of levels we're looking at here?
So it goes right from level 3 with the
nice.
first one, and I think it's going to top out 15-ish.
Nice.
I think.
Yeah, high level play has been often noted in many places, not really that well supported. So seeing something that goes up to level 15 would be really fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, how would you like to pop along to the Barrier Peaks?
Oh, try and stop me.
If you were to organise some kind of, I don't know, journey to the Barrier Peaks, what would you call that?
Probably an expedition.
An expedition to the Barrier Peaks. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I might accidentally call it an exhibition from time to time, but that's just how I roll.
So Goodman Games,
they
brought out a 5th edition version of Into the Borderlands a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then they did the Isle of Dread. And what they do with these things is they give you a big hardcover book.
Yep.
And it's got the original module in it. It's usually got another printing which is slightly different of the original module, because often back then you get slight variations and things like that. So you get them both in the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you get the 5th edition version. So you end up with a big, thick kind of... because these are like 32-page adventures or something. You end up with a big, thick hardcover book full of stuff. And, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks is the latest one, which was a science fantasy adventure in which there's a crashed spaceship which lands in...
Not the sort of thing I'd expect to encounter with my typical adventuring party.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the game is worse for that.
Well, it's still set in the usual fantasy world.
Yeah.
So the crashed spaceship is it's a odd thing for you to find. But, and it's got robots and it's got laser guns and all that sort of stuff.
I think we could do a bit more weirdness in 5th edit, just like things like, well, we don't know what this is. This is crazy. Marvellous.
Yeah, well, certainly for fans of the original modules, that'll be fun. So Thomas Valley over at GameholeCon, he's the Adventurers League coordinator there. He was asking for volunteer DMs for the show in November, which isn't massive news in itself. But as part of the post, which he posted publicly on Facebook, he referred to the premiere of an epic event set in an unannounced setting, and also the premiere of adventures set in an as-yet unannounced setting. So there's no clue whether that's an entirely new setting, whether that's a revival of an old set. I mean, it could literally just be part of the Forgotten Realms. Who knows how he's using the word setting there. But there we go. That's what he said. So speculate away, I guess. What could that be?
Hey, who is the best being ever to have lived?
The best what to ever have lived?
Being ever to have lived.
I think Django's clear in the lead.
Is Killer Django, are you in the lead? No, he's ignoring us.
He's secure in his magnificence.
Well, other than Django, it is, of course, David Bowie.
True.
And David Bowie has been in a couple of films.
Yes.
One of which featured his codpiece quite prominently.
I don't know which one.
Labyrinth.
Oh, Labyrinth. Oh, are you calling it Labyrinth?
As opposed to...
Labyrinth?
Labyrinth.
You said Labyrinth. No.
I can't actually hear the difference in what you're saying.
Oh, well, I thought you were saying Labyrinth, which would have 3 syllables. I'm saying Labyrinth, which would have 2 syllables.
Well, I think it is, but the Y is very quick. Labyrinth.
Fair enough. Not to be confused with Labyrinth, which is a big axe.
Yes, it is.
No.
Anyway...
Having said all our pronunciational differences, let's move on. Yeah, to the important news, which is that there's a Labyrinth RPG.
A Labyrinth RPG, as I should now pronounce it. River Horse Games
Nice.
are going to be releasing a Labyrinth RPG later this year. Don't know an awful lot about it, but I'm going to buy it. Despite that.
I don't think this is controversial.
I mean, Jim Henson, puppets, David Bowie.
What's to go wrong?
Exactly. Why would you not want that in your game?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And, if you're really lucky, maybe David Bowie will actually turn up.
That would be...
I refuse to believe he's dead.
Fair. Well, I was just saying we needed more weirdness in games, and voila.
Yes.
I am anticipated.
This is kind of... they describe it as being set up as 90 interlinked scenes full of OSR-style challenges. Definitely not OSR rules, though. So I'm not 100% sure what that means.
Well, it means they're not using 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, but 90 interlinked scenes. So I suppose it's a labyrinth.
Yes.
And it shifts.
Oh.
So I suppose, essentially, you could go into the labyrinth, maybe... I don't know if this is how they're doing it, and each time you go into it, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
And there's 90 different types of encounters that you can have. I don't know.
Maybe if you go right instead of left, because, if you go that way, that will take you straight to the Goblin Castle.
Well, it says here, mechanics are very simple. There's a 13-hour clock slowly ticking down throughout the adventure.
Yeah.
And if you don't beat the game in time, you lose, you have to start over and try again.
Bum, bum, bum.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'm picking that up without a doubt.
It's always sort of got a board game-esque quality.
It sounds a bit like it, yeah.
I think the OSR style thing it's saying is partly borrowing the buzzwords, but mostly because it's concentrating on challenging players rather than characters.
Yeah.
The conceit of the original film has, I'm sure the 2 people that haven't seen it won't know, is that it's a young girl that has her baby brother taken away by goblins at her request, to be fair, and she's trying to recover it. So
she goes into a labyrinth and meets David Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best day ever. who's also apparently a Goblin Prince amongst his many other talents.
Goblin King, in fact, not just a prince.
I do beg your pardon.
God.
Goblin King, yeah.
You're de-ranking him.
Wow, yeah, it's just his magnificence is too much for my mind to comprehend. So I do my best. So I think the OSR style thing is basically hitting it should not be your go-to plan. And probably setting it on fire is not going to be as successful as you'd hope.
Yes.
We've got a very quick Paizo roundup. The folks over at Paizo are continuing their tradition of making dedicated pawns for each adventure path. So the Starfinder Pawns Signal of Screams collection has just been released. Also, there's a new Pathfinder campaign setting book, Concordance of Rivals.
It includes 24 new demigods, which you can assign a new paladin or cleric to. There's a new prestige class, some new occult rituals, and all sorts of more stuff. Pathfinder First Edition still has life in it, apparently, even though Second Edition is coming out in a matter of months. And there's a Starfinder beginner box coming out extremely soon. This looks awesome, and if it's like the Pathfinder beginner box was, it will be. We got a 96-page Game Master's Guide, an adventure, a whole load of pawns, character sheets, and it's even its own set of dice. So yeah, if you're into Pathfinder or you want to get into Pathfinder, that's a great way to start, and it looks gorgeous.
Moving on.
Moving
swiftly on. Monty Cook Games Arcana of the Ancients. Ooh. The big Kickstarter has launched.
This is the foray into 5th Ed, as was heralded by their little scribbles in margin area.
So what they're not actually sort of coming directly out and saying is that it's Numenera 5th edition. But I think if you read between the lines, I think it kind of is Numenera 5th edition, isn't it? Or tools so that you can run Numenera 5th edition.
Interesting.
If you have a quick look at the Kickstarter, it's doing rather well. It's let's see what it is in dollars, because that's in pounds. It's currently at $150,000 with 25 days to go.
What was the goal?
In dollars, again, that's in pounds. In dollars, 50,000.
For those of you playing along at home, that's 113,000 odd. Oh, on a £37. Okay, yep. So that's they've nearly got 4 times the amount of money that they want.
And they've got plenty of time to go. The art's lovely. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, we've got what's that big 2-headed dragon?
I mean, Monty Cook Games is very well known for extremely high production values, and you can just see that seeping through.
Yeah, there's some gorgeous books.
And I've never played. Have you played Numenera?
No, I've seen it run this one time.
Yeah.
And then never again. It's just like one of those.
Yeah, I've got it, and I've got The Strange as well, but I haven't had a chance to play them.
Yeah. It's one of those things. If someone says, "Would you like to play it?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, that'd be great." But yeah, as it is, I'm constantly being seduced away by other ideas. There's just so many role-playing games to play nowadays.
There are, and this is a good thing. It's not a bad problem to have, is it?
Too many games, so little time.
Yeah.
A bit of sad news here. Larry DiTilio passed away at the age of 76. So if you are wondering who DiTilio was, you will probably remember him for his work on Masks of Nyarlathotep, and also Tunnel and Trolls, The Isle of Darksmoke. But that's not all he did. He was also responsible for a lot of cartoons. Things like She-Ra, which he created, Beast Wars, some of the real Ghostbusters. He also wrote on the first 2 seasons of Babylon 5. Yeah, he passed away this weekend after a long illness. So our sympathies go out to his family and friends.
What else have we got?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Wardlings.
As in like little mini wards?
So this is a setting book based on Renegade Game Studios and WizKids are producing this. It's a setting book based on a miniature line of kids' adventures called Wardlings.
Nice.
It's for D&D 5th edition. And it allows players to embark on enchanted adventures with their favourite magical animal companions. So I'm not really familiar with this this line of adventures.
No.
So it's based on a line of miniature adventurers, not adventures.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
yeah.
I misread that. Yeah. Adventurers, which
so there's miniature adventurers called Wardlings.
Yes.
And now they're getting their own
campaign setting. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What do the Wardlings look like then? Do we know?
Let's see if I can find any.
They have animal companions. We know that much.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So what we've got there? We've got like some people
and a little thing with wings and a little wolf. I guess that is.
Yeah. I guess it's like we've got like regular characters but with more pets. And yeah, I don't really see enough pets in games.
So good news for Eberron fans. So the original creator of Eberron, Keith Baker, he's teamed up with a few other authors on the Dungeon Masters Guild, and they've released a new 164-page PDF Eberron supplement. You can get it for $14.95 over on the DM's Guild. It contains new archetypes based on the 3rd edition Eberron Prestige classes, plus races, racial feats, new forms of Dragonmark, and some more Eberron lore and information, and a whole load of plot hooks for you to use in your Eberron games. So, if you're an Eberron fan, head on over there and grab that right away. What else have we got then? So we got a new expansion from Fantasy Flight Games for their Star Wars role-playing line.
Ooh.
This is called Collapse of the Republic.
Bum, bum, bum.
Compatible with all 3 games, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
All about the end of the Clone Wars and the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Galactic Empire.
So, sort of Revenge of the Sith, the role-playing game.
I guess. I think it's maybe slightly after that, maybe? I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But includes new player character options, including Deathwatch Warrior and Night Sister.
Ooh.
Also, things for game masters to run the events of Order 66.
Okay, well that sounds like something you'd want to do.
It depends which side you're on, I suppose.
Yeah.
You run the Jedi hunting campaign. Oh, that could be fun. Jedi hunting campaign.
I'm listening.
Free RPG Day.
Huzzah!
Based on Free Comics Day, obviously, has a new owner.
Ooh.
It's called Gaming Days LLC.
Mm-hmm.
So Free RPG Day, it was originally founded by Aldo Ghiozzi. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of handled by Impressions Game Distributors up until Impressions got sold last year. Mm-hmm. So Ghiozzi kept the rights to Free RPG Day after that, and now it's passing on to a new company called Gaming Days LLC. Mm-hmm. Don't know any more than that at this stage. I mean, Free RPG Day 2019 is on June the 15th, Saturday.
June 15th, marvellous.
And in theory, you can go along to your local game store and pick up some free goodies.
Well, yeah, we'll be sure to pop along to our friendly local game store on June 15th to pick up a free RPG.
Yes.
And maybe run it.
Yeah, I think you have to go to the site to see which ones are participating. Not all game stores are necessarily.
No, that's fair enough.
There's a massive drive-through RPG sale at the moment, which is EN Publishing stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they contacted me about a month ago and said, would you like to run a week-long sale? And I went, yeah, I'll do that. So there's lots of sort of ghost-breaking, xenomorph hunting, vampire slaying, bounty hunting goodness. So if you want to pop along and get some What's All His New stuff, or some of the War of the Burning Sky stuff, or something like that for up to 66% off, you can do that over at Drive-Thru RPG until Thursday, I believe. So when you hear this on Wednesday, you're going to be running out of time.
Yeah, get in there quick. Yeah.
I think that is it for the news.
Oh.
Well, why don't we play our favourite game in all the world?
Our favourite game in all the world? My favourite game in all the world ever?
Yes, that game.
Okay, well, I've got a stick and we've got Django, so we're good to go.
Oh, you just woke him up. You just woken up the beast.
Right, just want to say my name.
Django, we're talking about you, not to you.
Yeah.
Sulking now.
Yeah. Oh. Promises.
Yeah.
I'm a monster.
Okay, let's play our favourite game in all the world. The game where I read out the name of a Kickstarter and you try and guess what it is from just the name.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I've been all over the shop with my guesses. Some have been...
You did really well last week.
I did. I was amazed. But John Dodd, he absolutely smashed it.
He did?
He did.
But it was a draw in the end, as I recall.
It was, but it was hard fought. But yeah, definitely amazing stuff. All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Our favourite game in all the world. So, first one, you should get this one.
Yeah.
This one isn't too hard. And you'll like the name of it too.
Okay, I'm listening.
Mercenary Spies and Private Eyes.
You're right, I do like the name of it.
Yes, because it rhymes.
Partly, but also partly because I know I'm in for some good quality content. So Mercenary Spies and Private Eyes, I'm thinking a game setting which will cover you from anywhere from the 1940s onto the modern day, and also a game system. Game system which will let you play all of the above and have all sorts of rollicking adventures.
Yes. The only thing you missed out is it's a new edition of game first published in 1983.
I did not know it existed until now.
Well, now you know.
Now I'm happy.
Now you know. Well, you've pretty much got that. 8 out of 10 now, I think.
Sweet.
Not a bad score, not a bad start. You're off to a good
Universe
start.
momentarily safe.
Okay. What it is, gods.
Oh, okay, that's my clue, is it? Gods. Gods.
Django is snoring.
Well, yeah, dog got to sleep sometime. Yeah. It's so adorable. Gods.
I think we stumped him.
What was single word? Yeah, do you think? Okay, Gods is a game.
Good start.
Thanks, Russ. Your pal. It could be all sorts of things, including a sort of theological bestiary, if you will. But I don't think it's that. I think it is a game where you take the part of gods. So a bit like Scion, but even more high-powered, where you're the god. So I think it's maybe some sort of storytelling game, and you take on the part of a god in a pantheon, and that would be the sort of game I'd hope for from a game called Gods, where you are all part of a pantheon and you're gently bickering amongst yourselves and trying to resolve things without accidentally cracking the roll in two.
Do you know what's good about you, Peter?
Yes.
It's how well you handle disappointment.
Yes.
Because that is not what this game is.
Okay, well, I'm hoping it's significantly better than what I came up with.
So, are you a fan of Robert E. Howard, Carl E. Wagner, Michael Moorcock, Glenn Cook, or Frank Frazetta?
I'm a huge fan of at least two of those people, fairly indifferent to one of them, and one of them I have not heard of at all.
Okay then. Well, this is a love letter, essentially, to these writers and artists. And it's a dark and grim fantasy role-playing game.
Okay.
Where you play heroes seeking high adventure in the Wildlands, a brutal land abandoned and forgotten by the gods.
Oh, well, obviously that's what the market's been crying out for, a grimdark adventure system and setting. Okay, tell me more.
The rules are based on the totem system. I'm not familiar with the system, but it uses 10-sided dice, D10s, to manage gaming phases. Characters are defined by traits.
Interesting choice.
And you roll a number of D10s equal to the score of the trait used.
Okay.
And compare the result of each die to a difficulty ranging from 1 to 10. The more results are equal or higher than the difficulty, so standard dice pool.
Yeah.
Mechanic with D10s.
D10 dice pool. Yeah. That's a lot of words to say. Yeah,
standard D10 dice pool.
We saw World of Darkness. I thought that was a cool idea. Let's use that. And okay, yeah. Cool.
Well, there you go. So unfortunately, you got -1 point out of 10 there.
That's fair.
That's taking your score down to 7.
But I feel vindicated.
All right, how about this one then?
I think my game was better.
How about this one?
No, I'm sure you should get in touch with Gods. It's certainly a D10 take could be an interesting and unique one, and it's different from the flat probability curve of D20. So that is that going for it.
So, yes. Leviathan Rising.
Oh, I know what I want this to be about.
Go on.
Set in the era of Hobbes. Was it? Is it Thomas Hobbes? Robert Hobbes? It's basically the guy who wrote Leviathan, about life being nasty, brutal, and short.
Right.
Leviathan, in that case, being the concept of the state having the monopoly on violence in order to, stop people from stabbing each other every 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because if they did, then the state would step in and ruin them. In Hobbes's times, I'm pretty sure it's Thomas Hobbes. Someone will write in and tell me if I'm wrong. That's a good thing about being on the internet. In his time, the Leviathan was like the concept of the state has embodied through the crown. So, I don't know. Leviathan Rising would be the formation of this state, but generally Leviathan would be seen, especially with modern liberal eyes, as being quite a bad thing. It was useful at the time because everyone was just stabbing each other. It was not good. But yeah, maybe you are people opposed to Leviathan. So you're sort of anarchists and rebels fighting against agents of the state. That's what I'd hope it would be about. It's either that or it's about a really big kraken.
That's exactly what it's about.
Is it about a really big kraken?
No, the first thing you said.
Oh.
Not the Kraken.
Really?
It is an enlightenment punk role-playing game. And I've broken Peter.
Enlightenment punk.
Yeah. 17th century rebels fighting for fraternity, equality, and liberty. You are chosen by the rebellion to represent them and spearhead the fight for freedom against a corrupt establishment. So, exactly what you said. Pretty much.
That sounds like something I really need to play.
Well,
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah. A Kickstarter, you say?
A Kickstarter indeed.
Tell me, when's the end?
There is some bad news.
Yes.
You're not a big fan of the system it's using.
Is it Fate?
It is Fate.
Okay. I can think about it. It's not like that's the system you use when, like, you know, making mechanics is hard.
Well, I'll give you...
It's a storytelling
I'll give you 10 out of 10 for getting it exactly right.
Thank you.
Plus 1 consolation point for the disappointment of finding out it's in one of your least favourite systems. So that gives you 11 out of 10.
Look, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Fate per se. It's just I've never enjoyed a game of it I played.
Fair enough.
So, you know, there could be all sorts of reasons for that.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not
But
telling you
hey,
what to like and what not to like.
I shall enjoy my consolation point. I think the first
It's
ever awarded on this show.
Very tasty consolation point.
Oh, nom nom nom. Yes.
Anyway,
Moving on.
There we go. And that's it. That's it for this week.
Okay.
In our favourite game in all the world. So what have you scored there?
About 20 odd.
Something in the region of 20 odd. There was one more, but it seemed a bit too easy. Powered by GURPS, Dungeon Fantasy Monsters 2 and Game Reprint.
That is have an excellent title.
Yeah, I kind of felt that if I just read that out, there's no way you were not going to guess exactly what it was. It really does do what it says on the tin.
Is this a fifth ed conversion?
Yeah, so, you know, that's from Steve Jackson Games, obviously. But we didn't know that in the game.
Yeah. Oh, I think we should do the PAQ.
PAQ?
Yeah, patrons ask questions.
We definitely need a much, much longer title. It's far too snappy.
I'm colonising your intellectual phrase. Oh, we should actually probably mention one of the things that had come up on a previous podcast. We were talking about, Garlic Space Cats, which actually turned out to be a Galactic Sentience catalogue.
Yes. So the Garlic Space Cats, I think, ended up in the Patreon episode, so most people won't know what we're talking about.
Oh, well, if you're not a patron, then you won't understand about Garlic Space Cats.
Garlic Sentence Cats, I think, was...
Garlic Sentence Cats.
Garlic Sentence Cats.
Yes, cats that speak only through the language of garlic.
Yes, what did you want to say about Garlic Sentence Cats?
Well, I wanted to say, actually, the name's Galactic Sentience Catalogue, and due to my privileged position of being able to, like, come to Russ's house and see his stuff, it's absolutely full of, like, amazing and interesting playable races, what's old is new. And
it is.
I think you could quite happily have half these ideas away to pretty much any setting where you've got, like, monsters, well, not monsters, but things that live in space. Like, you got covered from goblins, lizard people. One of the things I personally like, was it the Garga? Yeah, like, they're basically, how else to explain it? There is a bipedal tree frog with a harpoon gun slung over the shoulder while they're wearing, like, a sort of a spacesuit crop top with, like, a tool belt slung off them. It's a pretty strong image that they've got there, and there are some other amazing ideas in here. There's there's a greyhound wandering around wearing sportswear, saying "Yo, what's up?" There are the Jamila, which I really quite like, probably because I'm heavily influenced by The Good Place and Jamelia from there. But they are basically perfect idealized humanoids that are like people, but just a bit better. They're the Warhammer elves of the Wine system. Yeah, Hellions. There's a pig, everything. There's a mushroom guy wandering around saying, "I'm a mushroom. Was it a Faunian fungus?" And I've also seen, like, a big tree wandering around, which also seems like a decent thing.
It's a pterodactyl.
And that guy is a pterodactyl with a ray gun. And you know where you stand with a pterodactyl with a ray gun, saying, "How do you have a ray gun? Oh no, why is he shooting at me? Ah!" So yes,
This is a pterodactyl.
the Galactic Sentience Catalogue,
Not the Garlic Sentence Cat.
not the Garlic Sentence Cat. the joys are... Ooh,
and in the back is the race building engine.
Oh.
So if you... If there's 50-odd player races you don't like any of them, you can build your own.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah. And excellent news for sci-fi fans everywhere. So, yeah. Looking forward to that. Is that being Kickstarted, or are you just flat out publishing it?
Oh, it's published already.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah.
It's released into the wild.
It's already out. Yes, you can go and buy it right now.
Is it, in fact, in the Ian World sale?
Yes, it will be, yes. Ooh. Anyway, what we do is we allow our patrons to ask us questions each week, and we attempt to answer them on the podcast. So if you'd like to ask a question, head on over to the Patreon at patreon.com/Morris.
Yes.
Make sure you're a patron of our podcast, which can be as low as $1 a month. We have some questions here from our lovely, lovely, gorgeous Patreon backers.
Yes.
So let's start with Lee Donovan.
Hey Lee, how you doing?
So Lee would like to know,
yes,
what's the one rule you hate in an otherwise decent game?
Ooh, I'm going to say magic points in Savage Worlds.
Okay, why do you hate that?
I hate magic points.
So I know you love Savage Worlds.
I love Savage Worlds. I'm going to be running a game of Savage Worlds for some people that I am very fond of. But yeah, magic points just,
just the concept of them in general?
Yeah, they just annoy me.
Really?
It's like, sort of I can deal with spell slots and stuff, but...
See, I don't like spell slots, I like magic points.
I would prefer it to be a bit more like the old system, in that you're trying to pull magic out of some things, like you're trying to succeed at it. I mean, it's one of those things, it's like, it needs to have a cost. For me, magic points and spell slots, they're not ideal.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was just trying to think of mine. One, I don't know. Hate is a strong word, but one that does spring to mind is the ghost die in the original Ghostbusters RPG.
Oh yeah.
So I love that game. It's
Yes.
such fun, and it's a very, very simple dice pool system, as we mentioned before. The first ever dice pool system.
Yes.
But one of the rules is every time you roll your dice pool, one of them has to be the ghost die.
Yep.
Which is a D6, where one of probably the 1 or the 6, I can't remember offhand, but one of them is replaced by the Ghostbusters logo.
Sweet.
So whatever your size of your dice pool is, one of them is going to be that die. And if the ghost logo comes up, something bad happens.
Oh.
But the thing is, that means 1 in 6 rolls, something bad's going to happen. And in practice, it's just kind of constant, especially when you've got sort of like 4 or 5 players, especially every round, something bad happens.
Yeah, that sounds kind of unrelenting.
And one is kind of cool. I mean, it's not, it is the Ghostbusters game, so it's something silly bad. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's going to be amusing. But the thing is, you're trying to think of things every single round. Oh, you got covered in slime again. It's too much. So I always, unless it's always possible that I got the rule totally wrong, because I just kind of remember it.
It is possible. Yeah.
That's certainly how we played it. Anyway, so that would be my answer. Is a rule. I wouldn't say hate, but I think it is a flaw in an otherwise great game.
It really interferes with attempts to control the tone of a game, because comedy is great, but sometimes you want to have something a bit serious, just so that then when you do have the comedy, it's even funnier.
Yeah.
Like being able to have a bit of a...
Well, it doesn't say it has to be funny.
No, it doesn't.
It's just it has to be a negative thing. So,
but
in that game, you tend to make it funny, but it's still up to the GM.
Yeah, but it will tend to devolve into slapstick, because like it goes so contrary to our experience of everyday life. It sort of breaks your immersion, because like some days, the days when we talk about everything going wrong, you've had maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 things go wrong if you're busy, and it's all been horrendously bad. But we're talking about 5 things happening every 6 seconds or so. It's, not so good.
We got another question.
Oh.
It's a slightly more difficult one.
We have another question.
So we got one from Trevor Chapman.
Hey, Trevor.
It's a bit longer, so I'll read it out.
Yeah.
When 3rd edition became all the rage, there was a lot of people taking modules from 1st and 2nd edition and converting them to 3rd edition.
Okay.
Wizards of the Coast is essentially acting along the same lines for their 5th ed published adventure books. So my question is, are there any conversions of the 4th or 5th edition modules and campaigns back into 3rd edition?
Ooh.
Interesting question.
A retro conversion.
So I wasn't aware of any offhand. So when I saw this question, I did some research.
Yes.
I asked on Twitter, I did a Google search, and it came up blank. I couldn't find anyone that was aware of any, and I couldn't find any myself.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't exist, but I couldn't find any. But I did have a thought on it, though. Because he goes on to talk about his reasoning for asking the question.
Yeah.
And I think he could just approach it differently. So he goes, after having a group of players very comfortable with 3rd edition, and having several $1,000s invested in that edition, I have decided to continue in that version.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
So he'd like to leverage the better quality and writing of the modern modules and campaigns, but continue in his preferred edition. So my suggestion is, use Pathfinder adventures.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of similar in quality to the modern Wizard of the Coast ones.
Yeah.
Adventure Paths are Pathfinder's bread and butter. They've mastered the art completely. They know exactly what they're doing. And they would be, super easy to convert over to 3.5, given that Pathfinder is essentially a slightly modified version of 3.5.
Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of the systems well enough to speak authoritatively, but I would struggle to tell the two apart unless they had Pathfinder or 3.5 written on them in big letters. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is a lot of these 5th edition modules, adventures at the moment, are updates of 1st and 2nd edition adventures. So rather than trying to reverse engineer the 5th edition back to 3.5, I would suggest that it's easier to get hold of the 2nd or 1st edition original and convert that forward to 3.5.
Yeah. That seems to make a lot of sense.
Which is essentially what he says, happened back when 3rd edition came on the way. So my suggestion was to go back to the source and use those. But I mean, he does say he likes the better quality and writing of the modern modules. And
no, that's entirely reasonable.
I can't argue with that. But hard one. It's a hard one. I don't really have a solid answer for you there, Trevor. Sorry, but
I mean, converting 4th ed. Like, the Dark Sun setting is really interesting. Like, I only know tiny bits about it because I wasn't really playing
4th edition was really well known for good adventures, though, was it?
No, it was very, very good at doing balanced combats and being easy to prep, that sort of thing.
I remember the adventures I played in 4th edition, I found them not great.
Bit forgettable, Yeah, and 5th ed is basically a lot of 2nd ed conversions, to be fair.
Yeah, 1st and 2nd,
Yeah, no, so sorry we can't help you out more, Trevor. I'm sure that with the amazing power of the internet, that we will have people come back to us and say, oh, actually, there's this really well-known website where you can do this. And if you do, thank you very much in advance. And we'll be sure to let you know.
There we go. That's our Patreon asked questions for the week.
Yes.
I hope our answers, if not helpful, were at least
we are
adequate.
Sincere. We are sincere in our attempts to help.
We tried. We did our best.
Okay, is everybody here? I can't wait to start our first game of Dungeons and Dragons.
Stop everything!
What? Who are you?
I've come directly from D&D headquarters, and we have an important announcement.
Can't it wait? We're about to start our first game?
It's very important. I cannot allow you to proceed.
Ugh, fine. Spit it out then. What's wrong?
Well, due to budget cuts at D&D headquarters, we are rebranding the game.
Okay.
Now, instead of being called Dungeons and Dragons, it will be known as Dungeons or Dragons.
I failed to see the point.
Your games may now feature immense, scaly, fire-breathing lizards, or they may feature dark, scary, underground caverns, but not both at the same time.
But that's just ridiculous. This adventure is inspired by things like J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, which features a great fire-breathing dragon sleeping in the depths of an underground dwarvish kingdom.
Not possible, I'm afraid. The accounts department would have my guts for garters if I let you do that. You'll just have to choose one or the other.
But they're both integral to the plot. What am I supposed to do?
Why don't you replace the dragon with an Orcus or two, or maybe a nice Aboleth?
Okay, I suppose.
or keep the dragon and set the adventure in the seaside town of Torquay.
Torquay. It doesn't have quite the same je ne sais quoi, does it now?
Sorry, completely beyond my control. You should hear how they're rebranding Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
We have a topic of the week.
We do? How exciting.
Yes.
That's a change for us.
I think we should delve into the sinister secret of Saltmarsh.
Saltmarsh. That name rings bells.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it's just down the road.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know Southampton that well, but I'll take your word for it.
So this is Dungeon Module U1, which was released back in 1980, I believe.
1981, I think?
1981. And this was the first ever UK D&D adventure.
Oh.
It was for AD&D, first edition.
Yes.
By Don Turnbull.
Yes.
And the reason we're discussing it is because coming very soon, later this year,
Yes.
is Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is the new D&D 5th edition hardcover adventure collection from Wizards of the Coast.
Yep. So which edition is U1 from? Is that first edition?
First edition, yes.
First edition.
Yeah. So this is one of the adventures that's going to be in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. The Ghosts of Saltmarsh contains the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, which is this one I'm holding in my hands right now.
Ooh.
It's 2 sequels.
Yes.
And I think there's 3 or 4 other adventures that are going to be in there also.
Yes.
I thought we'd dive into this, have a quick look, and I think we should warn people that because this is appearing in the 5th edition as a 5th edition update from Wizards of the Coast, from here on in, if you are going to be a player in this adventure, stop listening now, come back next week.
Unless you have a dreadful, dreadful memory.
Yes, because this is going to be spoilerific, and I think this particular adventure, spoilers would ruin it for you if you're playing.
So many spoilers.
If you're a GM or DM and you're planning on running it, or you're already familiar with the adventure, then carry on listening.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You were warned. Turn back. Turn back.
So Saltmarsh is like a little town. And
Yeah.
it's basically one of those sort of South Coast English towns, of which there are many.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a map of it come out already on the website. It's right on the coast.
Tell you what is
Hamlet.
tell you what is fun though. Wizards of the Coast have teased us with a map that's going to be in Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Yes.
This original adventure does not have a map of Saltmarsh.
That is true.
Not only that,
Yep.
it tells you to draw your own map. It literally says so.
Draw your own map, Pibby.
So here we go. Therefore, if there is to be an adequate background to the series, the DM is recommended to prepare the town quite thoroughly, using the guidelines presented in this module as the basis for that preparation. The DM's own style and preferences will govern just how much preparation is done and in how much detail. But it is suggested that attention be given to at least some of the following. And then it basically says you've got to come up with the town council, some prominent local citizens, draw a map of the town and locate prominent buildings, decide where the characters could stay in town, decide where the town's places of worship and which deity. So basically you have to design the setting.
Yeah. It's sort of a DIY setting.
Yeah.
It's like, Saltmarsh isn't really important to us. We're just going to talk to you about stuff. I mean, but they've got some fantastic bits in this. I'm particularly enjoyed Don Turnbull, who's managing director at Tactical Studies Rules or something like that.
UK branch of TSR.
UK branch, yeah.
I like his little essay at the beginning where he's talking about the language, because this is the first UK module.
Absolutely.
And so he's basically sort of saying this was written in the UK. American readers may find the tone of it slightly different to what they're used to. I make no apologies for this. If this detracts from your enjoyment, then but this is how we write over here.
I can't help but imagining him speaking with a really clipped received pronunciation.
Although looking through it all, I just want to see whether it is in UK English or American English spelling wise. I'm trying to think of a. Spot the word colour or something like that.
Yeah, honour maybe.
Colour or honour. Yeah, I can't actually see any examples right now. Maybe they've just carefully avoided every single possible occurrence of the word colour or honour. I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely of its time. The first thing I noticed about it was it's quite a small like book.
Well, all of these were. So it's 30 pages.
Yes.
Made completely of paper. And then it comes with, as all of these did, this cardboard sort of cover / DM screen, which opens out into a 3-panel DM screen.
Oh.
And on the front page, facing the players, you're going to get the cover, the back cover, and, an actual map. Yeah. So,
good.
Yeah, you couldn't actually really use that as a DM screen because there's spoilers on the back cover and there's a map.
Yeah. It's like it's a good idea. It gets people to read it. But
and on the inside, you've got maps: the haunted house, a ship, and the ship called the Sea Ghost, and a simplified rigging diagram of the ship.
It's very important to have the rigging in place.
These very maps, in fact, I've seen Dyson Logos is one of the cartographers for the upcoming Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Oh yeah,
and he posted on Twitter the maps that he's done. They're exactly the same maps, but sort of updated. But they're still sort of like the black. These are blue and white, but the black and white style.
Yeah,
they're almost exactly the same.
Like just updated very slightly. Okay.
Should we get into spoilers then?
Oh, very well.
So the basic plot is there's a haunted house outside the town of Saltmarsh.
Yes.
There's lots of ghostly goings on there and weird noises, and everyone in town is scared of it.
Oh yeah.
So much so to the point where there's just like weeds all around it, and no one's gone near it in years. Oh,
the old. Does it have a name? It needs a name.
What, the house?
Yeah, like the old Jacoby place.
You got
to call it like
called. Let's have a quick look because I'm just going to remember even when I originally played it. So it's just called the Haunted House. 4 miles east of Saltmarsh. Yeah.
Oh, you can't just go calling it the Haunted House though. It's like the old Jacoby place. It's haunted there.
Sadly, it is just called the Haunted House. Capital H, capital H.
Absolutely. Don't want to go up there. No.
So, but the deep dark secret, the sinister secret of Saltmarsh is spoilers incoming. Stop listening. I'm warning you. Stop listening.
Is it alliteration?
The sinister secret of Saltmarsh is actually a Scooby-Doo episode. Because there are no ghosts. It's not haunted.
What?
It is in fact smugglers.
What?
Smugglers are in the house and they've got an illusionist who's making it seem like it's haunted.
Illusionists.
Yes.
Is it a case of a wizard did it?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. And he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those pesky kids. So essentially the players, the PCs are going to go to this haunted house. Presumably discover that it is in fact smugglers and not ghosts.
Yes.
And uncover the dastardly plot.
Ooh.
There's actually 2 adventures in this.
Yes.
It's a 2-part adventure. The first part is the haunted house.
Yes.
The second part, and that's a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yes.
The second part is called The Ghost Ship.
Well, it says a Scooby-Doo episode, but there's also quite a long bit in front of it which says, if you're not playing it smart, if your players are casual in their preparations, they're probably going to die.
Well, what is quite fun about this is also, have you seen the number of players it's for?
Tell me, how many players?
5 to 10 PCs.
5 to 10 PCs.
That's a lot of players.
Were tables just bigger back in the old days?
I guess so, yeah. 5 to 10 PCs. Yeah, it's not often you see an adventure design for 10 PCs, is it?
Levels 1 to 3?
Yeah, I assume they're going to change that for the upcoming version.
Yes, 5 to 10 Fish Dead characters would be a lot of characters to have. Like I say, I mean, how would that even work? No, that'd be dreadful. Let's not say we did.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the second adventure in this book, I mean, it's a 30-page paper book.
Yes.
And 15 pages are the haunted house.
Yes.
And another 15 pages
yes.
are the ghost ship.
Yeah.
And what that is, it's the smugglers have a ship moored off the coast.
Ooh.
And the PCs then have to get in a little rowing boat, head out to the ghost ship, infiltrate the ship, sort of under siege style, take out the smugglers, rescue an aquatic elf who's a prisoner in there, and discover that the smugglers are actually smuggling arms.
Ooh.
And by arms I mean weapons.
Yes.
Not actual arms.
It could have gone
weird.
It could have gone either way. I totally believed it.
They're smuggling arms, which they find in the hold. It's something like there's something like 7 morning stars and 14 long swords, and Yeah, they're not like special magical super weapons or anything. They're just regular.
Yeah. It's just your regular murder cutlery.
Yeah. That's basically the plot. It's so old school. It really is, just in the way it's written. We were discussing this beforehand.
Yeah.
I mentioned the thief or the assassin. So again, spoilers, but they go into the haunted house, and at one point in the haunted house, they discover, tied up in a bedroom, an assassin who's been hired by a merchant in the town to deal with the PCs. Ooh. Because the merchant is one of the people who are profiting off these smugglers. So this rich merchant in Saltmarsh pays the assassin to deal with the PCs. So this is a 4th level assassin. Sort of AD&D first edition rules. But it says in the book, and this is the funny bit, however, the PCs will not know that he's a 4th level assassin. He will introduce himself as a 2nd level thief.
Oh, hello, my name's Jim. I'm a 2nd level thief.
Exactly.
You can tell I have many of the class features.
Exactly. That's exactly what it says in there. I mean, it says introduce himself as, and then it goes on to say that clever players will soon realise he's not a thief because he can't speak thieves' cant, which is one of the class features of AD&D first edition thief.
Well, it's not called Thieves' Can now, after all. Oh dear.
Yeah. So unashamedly old school in that sense. Well, of course it is. It is old school. It's from 1981. But
is it old school if it was like it was new school at the time?
Well, you said earlier, it's like 40 years old.
Not quite.
Ned Shakeshaft. That's the name of this assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's someone just giggling to themselves. Saying, we'll get Americans to do this. They won't understand it. Yeah.
No, that is quite funny. There's a pseudo dragon that you can meet on the ship, and when you kill, there's these lizard men on the ship.
Ooh.
And when you kill them, there's this pseudo dragon that's the pet of one of them, and so it then will become a pet of one of the PCs. This is Lizard Man number 1, and it says once Lizard Man number 1 is dead, there's a basic 50% chance that the pseudo-dragon will select one human/humanoid party member as its new companion. This member must be one who has not actually attacked Lizard Man number 1, or the pseudo-dragon itself. And the little creature's order of preference, this is all one sentence, little creature's order of preference from among the party members will be 1, a druid, 2, a ranger, 3, any character of neutral good alignment, 4, any character having neutral in his alignment but not evil, 5, any magic user having good in his alignment. Full stop.
So Saltmarsh, the town you're starting off in, that's not important. You make that up yourself. Who the pseudo dragon wants to adopt as their new owner? That we need to address this in detail. We can't mess around with this. This has got to be very carefully planned out. Does the pseudo dragon play a key role in subsequent adventures? Oh, marvellous. Yeah. Oh, dear me.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the Sinister Secret. It's quite a simple adventure, really. It's two episodes essentially, and I love this introduction here from Don Turnbull. He's as he goes, there is, I suppose, inevitably one drawback. Though at TSR UK we know how popular the AD&D game has become, and have a pretty good idea of how much more popular it will become in the next year or so, the fact remains that the majority of readers of this module, and are others to follow, will not be UK citizens. Most will be Americans, and there will be others who live elsewhere in non-English speaking countries or otherwise, which raises the problem of varying usage of English language. It came as something of a surprise to me to discover that the English language, theoretically the same in both countries, enjoys a far wider deviation in usage than I had realised between the UK and the USA. The differences are not solely products of differing slang and jargon. There are much more subtle differences in emphasis, in the recognition of what is correct use of the language, in the nuance of the meanings of certain words. I mean, it goes on. I'm only halfway through. There's this basic essay at the start of
That is what the
module.
whole first...
The
first 4 paragraphs of this game...
explaining to Americans that the author is English and therefore...
uses words differently.
But to be honest, you read through it and it doesn't.
I didn't see anything particularly flowery.
Well, it's quite a stilted, written in quite a stilted way all the way through, but I think that's just the style of the time rather than...
that's just
sort of British
RPG
American
speak.
thing. Yeah, everything that you could say in 4 or 5 words, make sure you spend a paragraph saying it. Especially when you've only got 15 pages to play with.
Absolutely. Russ, should we indulge in wild speculation?
Do you wish to?
I definitely wish to.
What do you want to speculate about?
What's going to be in the 5th Ed version? Ghosts in Saltmarsh.
Well,
interesting.
Well, I assume... So the 5th Ed thing has like 6 or 7 adventures in total in it.
Yes.
And Ghosts of Saltmarsh is just one of those.
Right.
So we know it's going to have the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh and its 2 sequels, which what are they? Danger at Dunwater and what was the third one? So these are the adventures in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. We've got the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, which is this thing right here.
Yeah.
Danger at Dunwater, the sequel, and the final enemy, which is the third one in that trilogy.
Okay.
And then separately, it also has Salvage Operation, Isle of the Abbey, Tamarort's Fate. And The Styes. And it says it's going through levels 1 through 12.
Okay, over what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adventures.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
There we go. Coming out 21st of May 2019 in hardcover format.
So do we think it's going to be more of a Tales of the Yawning Portal style thing? Or
I
will they
guess
try
so, yeah. That would be my guess.
Okay, but different in some other ways because they're all sort of vaguely connected.
Just talking about the length of it. Okay, so how long is this book? It doesn't say.
Does it give the weight?
It doesn't give the weight. As we could work out the length, couldn't we? Let's pull up the Amazon page, see if it's got the page count. What is the page count? On Amazon, it is... No page count there. Oh, 1.2 pounds. Oh, we've got the weight.
By Jove.
We could do science and work out how many pages it is.
I think our listeners would be disappointed if we didn't indulge in some more scientifically informed speculation. So we've measured Halls of the Dragon Queen.
And that is?
£1 5 ounces.
Okay.
Just double check.
So that's the smallest book.
That is the smallest.
That was the smallest one, that's why I brought that one down. And the Player's Handbook's the biggest one. So we've got the smallest and the biggest one.
Yeah. Ooh, a hefty £2 8 ounces.
Yeah.
And a quarter for the Player's Handbook. Interesting.
And Tales of the Yawning Portal was sort of in the middle.
Yeah. £2
and 1 ounce. So, and this one's £1.2. So what's that? £1 pound.
£1 pound. Is it 1.2?
£1.2 pounds.
Does it say 1.2?
So you're going to convert.
Okay. Multiply mass value by 16. Good to know.
Okay. How many ounces are there in a pound?
16.
Right.
Apparently.
So it's £1 and 3 ounces.
Yes.
1.2 pounds is £1 and 3 ounces.
Hold on. 16 divided by 5 is 3 and a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So which of those was closest to that? £1.
That was the Hall of the Dragon Queen.
£1 and 3 ounces.
Yeah. £1, 2.5 ounces.
Yeah. It's the same number of pages as the Hall of the Dragon Queen. Then I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So in that case, our guess is that's quite short. That's only 94, 95 pages.
Oh, that is short.
That's very short.
Right. So it doesn't like. I mean, and
I don't think that can be right.
And it's like what 32 pages per module, more or less. That seems like a fairly standard size for them, doesn't it? Okay, so and there were 6 modules. Mm-hmm. So we'd expect around about 180 pages.
You expect it to be twice that, yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Unless our science is failing us, or unless this Amazon listing is wrong and it doesn't in fact weigh 1.2 pounds.
Yeah. So if we assume it's about 32 pages per thing, so if they just reprint it straight off, which I think they'd be hard pressed to do because they need to do, so if it'd be like 192 pages. Do we have any 192 page books? I think the Amazon listing, we have scientifically proven that the Amazon listing must almost certainly be wrong because it's giving us a weight that just will not fly unless it's basically being released in softcover.
It's not. It's definitely a hardcover.
Definitely hardcover. Because they're going to need to provide extra information. Like they can't, to be considered a modern product. I mean, In 1981, nobody really knew what they were doing. They were all just making it up as they went along, which is absolutely fine. But nowadays, people expect things like they expect you to provide some NPCs and give them names. You can then choose to ignore it if you like, but on the whole, people are like, if my adventure didn't come with an NPC name, I would be quite annoyed. And there will be a lot more attention given to Ned Shakeshaft, for example, as well.
I am going to be interested. In fact, I want to buy the book just because I wanted to see how they handled that.
Yeah, I think there will be a lot more detail in it, if only just to make it seem like less of a pamphlet.
Well, there we go.
Scientific proof.
Quite short.
Yeah, I think we've done some science. We've shown that Amazon is just wrong, unless it's a very small hardback.
Yeah, who knows?
Perhaps they're deviating, and the big secret of the Ghost of Saltmarsh is they're actually bringing out an A5 size.
Yeah. Oh, we got a letter, by the way.
Did we get a letter?
Handwritten.
Oh, that's nice.
Thought I'd read it out. It says,
Yes.
in this day, an email is what most people get. So I thought I'd take a shot at sending you a letter. And so this has arrived in a black envelope with silver address on the front. It's come from...
It's got a lot of dinosaur stamps.
It's got a lot of dinosaur stamps on it. It's come from the USA.
Ooh.
All different dinosaur stamps. Yes. So I'm a GM in Denver, Colorado, USA. But I spend more time building tools for GMs than I do running games. To that end, I wanted to tell you about Encounters. And the address of that is rpgencounters.com. A tool to add NPCs, build encounters, and run your game. It supports any device, but it doesn't support my kettle. Any screen size.
But Samsung's smart refrigerator, he's got covered.
4 languages so far, and multiple systems. 5e, Savage Worlds, Stars Without Number. It even works offline. Anyway, I hope you like it enough to share with others. Thanks for your time, Mario Lurig.
Yeah.
Can't quite read that. But yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Mario.
Thanks for taking the time to write to us. rpgencounters.com.
Oh, and there's all sorts of
And he sent us some stickers too.
Stickers.
I think that is it for this week. So I guess we should sign off.
Well, if we must, we must. But...
Well, thank you everyone as always for listening.
It's goodbye from me, Peter Coffey, from the Southampton Guild Roleplayers.
And it's goodbye from me, Russ, who you can find on Twitter, @Morris, or on EN World.